Hi guys, and welcome to the Euro Car Show. Today I'm driving the 2017 Toyota Land Cruiser. This is not the Big Daddy V8 5.7 liters whatever. No, this is the smaller version. Let's say the more European version. This is the famous 2.8 liter diesel. And this car is even a two-door coupe, if you can believe it. It looks big, but yeah, they just decided like 2 doors is enough for this over 2-ton behemoth of an off-roader. Anyways, without further ado, let's get to the review. Alright, so first of all, design as usual, exterior design. Well, it looks weird, to be honest. This is a big car, this is a white car, and yet it only has 2 doors. What happened there? I don't know, but this is cool. It reminds me of the Jeep Wrangler or these small SUVs back in the day, back in the 90s, such as the Suzuki Samurai and so on. Those are fun little off-roaders, honestly, and they had a lot of potential. I won't fit in here. Yeah, I won't. Bro. Okay. Once again, when you see it from the outside, it's just a bit weird because it's not a very long car, being a 2-door, but it is as wide as the big car, which just makes it a bit weird, you know? At first you'd imagine this car is difficult to park in town, etc., but it isn't. Like, it's actually way easier to park than the Aventis, which I also have as a press car right now, because it's way shorter. But by being short, that doesn't mean they really compromised on interior space for the passengers, especially in the rear. You've got loads of space. 4 to 5 people, no problem whatsoever. Lots of lots of legroom, lots of headroom, and overall very comfortable experience. Well, I'm not saying this car is like a 7 Series or anything like it. Yeah, the suspension is a bit rigid, but it makes sense because you don't want a super soft suspension on a car this short and this high. Yeah, you know, otherwise you just tend to roll over. Anyway, back at the trunk, space-wise, it's not big. If you want the bigger trunk, go for the 4-door version. This is more of a fun car, an off-road car, because this makes more sense off-road, and actually it makes sense in town as well, more than the 4-door version. That being said, you also have, you know, sat nav and outputs and whatever you might want. You even got a fridge, man. Like, this car can actually keep your beer cold, so that when you arrive up the mountain or anywhere, you can have it just the way you like it. This is a nice feature to have in a car, like a mini fridge kind of thing. That's really amazing. I'd love to have that like in every car. But now let's move on to what actually matters, the way it actually behaves, drives, and so on. So this car comes with the 2.8 turbo diesel engine. It has almost 180 horsepower, comes with the automatic 6-speed from Toyota, so nothing special here. Obviously 4-wheel drive, and that's where it gets interesting. You got your high gears and low gears, you got your hill descent assist, or I don't know how you call that in English, I'm sorry, but you get it. You know, when you're going down a hill, it assists you. You got many features that will help you go over stuff and actually get down steep hill. This car was intended to be an off-roader, not a town cruiser. That's why it's called a Land Cruiser, not a town cruiser, so I guess it makes sense. You also get like these little cameras that gives you many angles, so you know exactly where your wheels are and so on, which are very useful off-road, and could be useful as well in town if you're not used to a car this size. So I've said 180 horsepower or thereabout. It's actually closer to 175, but that doesn't matter. 180 sounds better. Horsepower is not what matters in this car, because obviously this is not a fast car. It's actually pretty slow, but you get a lot of torque, which we all know is what you actually need off-road. And if you tow stuff, you don't need horsepower, you need torque. You need proper big old school torque, and this car gives you that. You got over 400 Newton meters of torque. Lastly, consumption wise, this car is rated at somewhere just under 9 liters per 100 kilometers. Right now I'm averaging in town, about 12 liters per 100 kilometers. But yeah, on the highway, which I haven't driven this car on the highway that much, like yeah, you get under 9 if you drive it at conservative speeds, no problem there. So how does this car drive in town? Well, nicely. I mean, it's an automatic diesel car. It's not complicated to park. You just get, you know, you need to get used to the fact that it's a bit wider than your conventional car. Besides that, it's very easy to drive. But I know you guys are not really interested. If you're watching this review, you're probably more interested in how this car behaves off-road than in town or on the highway, which makes sense. And you know what? I think I'll take it off-road and give you more impressions once I get there, because I still have a long way to go. Oh shit. Ugh. See, very easy to park. Very easy to park. Off-road. Alright guys, so I just got the off-road course, and
you gotta get swifty. You gotta get swifty.
This is in the review. This is getting in the review. This is not even a joke. See what I'm enduring?
You gotta get swifty.
Yeah, no, that's 20 seconds YouTube. So I just got the off-road course. I did it a couple days ago, and it was fine. But in the meantime, we had like a rainstorm here in Belgium. We ran into a few problems, namely trees, a few of them. So I don't think I'll be able to film it today, since it's my last day with the Land Cruiser, and I was dumb enough not to film it before, thinking, yeah, well, today was going to be a nice day. It is indeed a very nice day, 30 degrees outside, but the off-road course is full of trees, and I just cannot go there. It's not my car, and it would take a few hours to empty it, and I honestly don't have the time anymore. But I can give you my feedback from a couple days back. Honestly, if you buy a Land Cruiser, you're pretty much guaranteed to have an amazing off-roader. I just wanted to show you what happened here, so maybe you could see it. Wait, see, there are trees here, and I just cannot really go over them. That would be a bad idea. Anyways, Land Cruiser off-roader, yes, especially the 3 doors, because it's shorter, and you can get in tighter spaces and so on. It's easier to you know, go around stuff and so on. But it's still wide. It's a bit wide for an off-roader. I think maybe like an old Suzuki Samurai or something like that would do an amazing job. Because they're smaller, way smaller. This one still remains a pretty wide car, but off-road capacities, I cannot even comment on those. This car is amazing. I mean, I tried the Toyota Hilux off-road, which also was very good. I had Land Rovers, I had Range Rovers. Honestly, those are also good. Their main goal now is to be town cars. Whereas this one is still a really rugged off-roader. I mean, you get all the amenities and so on, you get every little option you might want in a modern car, but you still get that rough chassis, the very simple engine, easy to fix, very bulletproof. I mean, this is still a old school off-roader if you want, and everything just works perfectly together, and it just makes this car an all-time great off-roader. So the overall conclusion in this video is that I really enjoyed my time with this car. It's a very nice car to have, especially if you like going on small adventures and, you know, off-road in the forest and so on. It's a very nice car to have anyway, because you can carry 4 to 5 people. It's not gonna ruin you, because the consumption is still decent for a car that weighs over 2 tons. So would I buy it? I think yes, especially since this car in Belgium starts at around 37,000 with no option, so list price, which I think is a decent price, because you're still getting that amazing chassis, that amazing engine. So if I had the money and felt the need to buy a car like this, I would definitely consider the Land Cruisers, because it's an all-time great car. It's bulletproof, and I'll probably never be disappointed by its capabilities off-road. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and as usual, if you have any more questions, anything I didn't say in the video, or any question about the car or any other review I did in the past, just make sure to leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. It's been a pleasure as always, and I'll see you in the next review. Bye bye.